To the channel. Today we're going to be doing a video that's slightly different. It's actually a remake of a previous video, but it's another one that we figured out didn't have audio on it. So I'm going to go ahead and I need to flip sides on the field so that we can actually show you guys what's going on. So I'm just running a quick play here, and then we're going to go ahead and switch to defense so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about and how I can use these things to my advantage, how you guys can use these things to your advantage on defense. Now, we're just going to come out like a base 3-4 set. This is going to apply to all of your defensive sets. It's not going to make much of a difference. You're going to see the same thing no matter what. What we're talking about are the letters that appear over a player's head on defense in Madden 20. Now, I'm just going to come out in a basic set, and then I'm going to hold R2 and not switch out of this formation. Now, what you're going to see on defense here is you're going to see an F and you're going to see a C. And there are other letters that can pop up above a player's head. You could see like a B on special teams, which basically all that indicates is somebody that can block a kick. That's what the B stands for. But on this play, you can see that there is a guy that has this, well, I guess I can't be over him, the letter C above his head, and then there's a guy on the right that has a letter F above his head. Now, what those two things stand for, the F stands for the force defender, and the C denotes the cutback defender. Now, what does that actually mean for you? Well, the force defender's job, according to Madden, their job is to force the ball carrier back inside, and his main goal is to make sure that they don't get beat outside. So basically speaking, this is going to be your edge defender. They have to keep the edge, and this makes sense based on what you're seeing here. If they try to run the ball to the right side, you're obviously not going to want that running back to get outside of Edmonds here, because he's going to be the guy that's going to come up and force the play inside, or he's going to have to hold his area here on the edge. So he's the force defender. So realistically speaking, you're going to want to consider him your edge defender. He's the guy that has to hold the edge against the run. That's all that means for you, but that helps you because that lets you know who has what responsibility and how they're going to play the run or whatever the offensive play is. It lets you know what they're going to be trying to do. Now, when you talk about the cutback defender, their responsibility is to play a little bit more conservatively and be ready for the cutback lane. Now, this isn't the best example of a cutback defender because this play is evenly set on both sides. So what could happen is they could run to either side, but what we'll do is we'll go ahead and jump through a couple different random plays and show you guys instances of where that happens. Well, what the cutback defender's responsibility is essentially is to be ready in case there is a cutback. Generally speaking, this is going to be the weak side guy. This force defender is going to be on the strong side. So let's go ahead and just let this play go, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you guys another play that's maybe more conducive to what we're talking about here and how you can use this to your advantage. So you're going to want to make sure that these guys are in specific positions. So let's go ahead and choose new play. And defensively speaking, I'm going to come out in a similar set. We're going to come out in a 3-4 and just a cover 3 sky. And then on offense, we're going to come out in more of a stacked to one side formation, like a strong formation, where most of the players are over to the right side of the ball. Now, on this one, you can clearly see that the force defender's on the right side. Obviously, that's the strong side of the ball. They're more likely to run the ball to the right side. And so this is going to be your edge defender again. You're going to want to keep the ball inside of Terrell Edmonds right here. However, what could happen is there could be a cutback on this play. It could be a counter. It could be something like that. And this guy, more than likely, they're not going to run it to this side because they have a disadvantage if they run it to that side because there's better numbers for the defense on this side of the ball. They have more linebackers, more defensive players than can be blocked by these two offensive linemen that are in front of Cameron Hayward. There are 3 guys on this left side. So this guy's responsibility is to come up and play the cutback and sit right basically where that tackle is and kind of in this area and watch to make sure that that running back doesn't cut back into an open lane on the backside of the football. That's going to help you guys out because it's going to let you know, where that guy's responsibility is and where he's going to be at on the play. You know that this guy, if this is a run, he's not going to be chasing down, back here. He's not going to be roaming around in the backfield of the front 7, I guess you could call it. He's going to be kind of sitting here, maybe chasing down the running back from behind in his responsibility. And then on the force defender or the edge defender, you know that he's going to be coming up and making contact with this receiver or tight end on this side and trying to hold the edge, trying to force the other players in bounds or inside of him. And so you can utilize that to your advantage by saying, okay, well, this guy, his responsibility, it's not going to work 10 times out of 10, but his responsibility is to force the ball back inside. So if this works according to plan, then you can utilize your other players to say, okay, he has to force the running back inside, so that means that my option to tackle the running back is going to be somewhere between here and where the cutback defender is. And so you can utilize that to kind of narrow down where the running back can go with the football. That's how you can utilize this to your advantage. You can basically cut off this entire third of the field over here, knowing that this force defender or this edge defender is going to be responsible for coming up and making sure that they don't get outside of this area of the field and force it into the rest of your players, which is an advantage for you on defense. And it's basically just an assignment telling you what your players are supposed to do. So there's not much more to it than that, other than knowing where your guys are going to be and what their assignments are going to be on a specific play, and knowing what the meaning of that is. You definitely do want to have a cutback defender because, say this guy wasn't here. Say this guy was, off roaming around on this side of the field. You can see that there is now a giant cutback lane on that side of the football. If that guard goes up and gets Vince Williams, the linebacker, and that left tackle holds his block, you're basically one-on-one with a safety back here deep in order to run that football. And so that's why this cutback defender is really important for you in making sure that the running back doesn't get a wide open lane going back the other way. And same thing with this guy. If Terrell Edmunds gets sucked inside, let's say he gets blocked in or does poorly on his assignment and gets blocked inside of here, you can see how if that fullback kicks out to the outside and leads outside, that could be an easy touchdown out here around the edge for that running back because Terrell Edmunds didn't do his job or something like that. So that's why this is important to you guys. That's why they denote those whenever you're on defense. Definitely try and utilize those to your advantage. I mean, it's just more information, and more information can't necessarily hurt you. So if this does help you guys out in some way, I know it's a short, easy, quick little video. If it does help you out in some way, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and comment down below. Anything else you guys, you might see, you might need some tips on, might need some help with. I'm happy to help with anything, so let me know down below in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.